Greetings, everybody, and once again, welcome into historic Lawrence-Dumont Stadium in downtown Wichita, Kansas. It is time for Hutchinson Community College Baseball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. This morning, it will be another elimination game for the Blue Dragons at the 2018 Region 6 Central District Baseball Tournament. This morning, the Blue Dragons in the second round elimination game face the Seward County Saints. Steve Carpenter and Denny Steckline with you. A very happy Mother's Day to all the moms listening out there, and including my wife Tina and mother Mary Jane, who are both in Hutchinson right now. It is a kind of a hazy morning, 77 degrees, but most importantly, the Blue Dragons remain alive in this tournament. We told you before the Neosho County game yesterday, it was going to take a 6-game winning streak. Number 1 has been knocked off that list. Now they're going to have to win a pair of double headers and then an if game on Tuesday afternoon to get that done. So opponent number 2 is Jayhawk West rival Seward County. A couple of weeks ago, these two teams split. Seward County dominated in the 2 games at Brent Gould Field and Liberal, and Hutchinson won an extra inning game and pretty much dominated the final game of the final in that series again at Hobart Detter Field one day later. That ensured Hutchinson finished in the upper half of the Jayhawk West and got a home game where they defeated Coffeyville in 3 games. Hutchinson's trip to this point, they lost to Cowley 6-1 on Friday, and then the Bats finally woke up with a 20-run, 18-hit performance yesterday in a 20-3 elimination game victory over Neosho County. Seward County swept Fort Scott, the number 3 overall seed in this tournament, in the opening round at Fort Scott. They then dominated their opening round opponent in Colby, 10-0 in just 6 innings. Yesterday, losing a tight game with Barton, losing 7-5 as Barton scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th and held on as Seward County loaded the bases with 2 out, and the Cougars finally prevailed. That brings us to this point. And I bring in Denny Steckline, my cohort in crime down here in Wichita. And, we said yesterday before the game the Bats needed to wake up. Hopefully the Bats are still vibrating quite a bit from that 13-inning, 9th inning yesterday.
Yeah, you just hope that they didn't use everything up in those bats yesterday, and I doubt they did. But even though we did talk about it before the game yesterday about the Bats needing to wake up, it took a while. The first 3 innings, there were a couple of base hits sprinkled out there, but really nothing that showed they were going to get their momentum started offensively. And we're going to take a quick break right here as they play the national anthem, folks.
The B team kind of okey-doked us. They went off script and did the anthem early, but that's all right.
Well, they didn't just catch us off guard because players were scurrying out of both dugouts to get lined up. So I'm not sure what the lead-in was to that, but you saw a lot of people running around at the last minute. Umpires were halfway in from their dressing room and had to stop down the left field line. So
I'm going to give the PA guy, Sean Bossa, a little bit of grace there. He got in from the Wichita Forest game at 8:25 this morning. They got back from Moline, Illinois. He took a quick nap on the bus, showered up, and he's over here working this game. So we'll give Sean a little bit of leeway on that one.
So if we hear any shouts of touchdown or incomplete, then we'll know exactly what the what the problem was. Well, we were talking a little bit about the Blue Dragon bats, and probably the key hit of the game, really. You score 20 runs, it's hard to pick one, but I'm going to go with top of the fourth inning when it's a scoreless tie. Blue Dragons have runners at second and third, 2 outs. And if memory serves me correct, they had them there with less than 2 outs, and I think there was a big strikeout that put 2 on the board. And Scott Wolverton comes to the plate, and we've talked a little bit about some of his struggles at the plate. Struck out a little more than he would like to, but what a huge line drive single up the middle to score those 2 runs and open the door for Hutch, put him up 2-0. Eventually getting up 4-0 before Neosho came back in the bottom of the 7th to score 3. And we talked then how important it was going to be to answer that. And they answered immediately, top 8 with 3 of their own. And then the not even a record, but 13 runs in the top of the 9th to put it well out of reach. The first 11 Blue Dragons to come to the plate in that 9th inning all reached, all came around to score. And wrapped it up 20-3. So you spend a lot of time talking offense when there's 20 runs on 18 hits, but we can't overlook the pitching performance of Wyatt Divis.
No.
2 in a row that he's come out and really been dominant with the start. Complete game against Coffeyville, and then this one yesterday where he went into the bottom of the 7th. Dayton Lane came on in relief. Went strong through the 8th, and then once the Dragons, and I would have expected to see Dayton in the 9th as well, but when the Dragons put 13 on the board to go up 20-3, it was a good opportunity for Coach Schmidt to rest him, and Matt Hopkins came in. Matt was effective the day before and was the same again yesterday with pitched a strong 9th inning.
This also, Hutchinson 3-0 in this postseason in elimination game, so that's pretty good effort. Let's get to the starting lineups. Hutchinson will be the home team. This will be the first time in the tournament. So the lineup for Seward County. Leading off will be the center fielder, Brendan Madsen. Batting second in right field, Spencer Sackett. The designated hitter, Dylan Paul, bats third, followed by first baseman Cade Ward batting in the cleanup spot. Joseph Kuhn, the catcher, bats fifth. Jose Caraballo is the shortstop. He bats sixth. Batting seventh is the third baseman, Benny Ayala. Cole Bergdahl bats 8th and plays second base. Cruz Shope bats 9th, and he'll be in left field. Ryan Thomas, the left-hander, will get the start for Seward County, 8-2 with a 6.21 ERA. So the Saints line up Madsen, Sackett, and Paul, Ward, Kuhn, and Caraballo, Ayala, Bergdahl, and Shope, with Ryan Thomas on the mound. The Blue Dragons will line it up this way now, 37-21 for head coach Ryan Schmidt. Brock Schaefer in that huge 6 RBI day yesterday leads it off. He'll be in center. Logan Sartori bats second at second base. Wyatt Divis back at third base today. He bats third. Bobby Morganson in the cleanup spot playing left field. Batting fifth will be the shortstop Dylan Nedved. Zach Baxley in a 6-game hitting streak bats sixth and is at first base. Garrett Stevens back behind the plate today. He bats seventh. Scott Wolverton will be the DH after a strong outing yesterday. He bats eighth. And Julian Ripp will bat ninth and play right field. Miguel Reyes, 7-3 with a 4.48 earned run average, gets the start. He already has 1 win over Seward County this year. That was a no decision in the extra inning game, so he has a no decision. So the Dragons line up Schaefer, Sartori, Divis, Morganson, Nedved, Baxley, Stevens, Wolverton, Ripp, with Miguel Reyes the pitcher, and the Dragons take the mound. The numbers on Miguel Reyes. Very strong start to his freshman season, making his 13th start, 15th overall appearance. He has 2 complete games, a record of 7-3 with a 4.48 earned run average. Now 60 1/3 innings pitched for Miguel. 64 hits, 39 runs, 30 earned. 54 strikeouts and 25 walks, and opponents hitting .271 against. Miguel's last time out was Game 3 against Coffeyville. I did not get to see that game, but he threw very well, if I recall, Denny.
He did, Carp, and you caught me. I was looking back to his performance against Seward, looking up the box score on that. I had that one handy, and he went 7 strong in that one. 2 runs, only 1 of them earned. He threw in that decisive Game 3 against Coffeyville as well. Low-scoring affair, pitcher's duel, and was again strong in that one.
So he's taking his final warm-up tosses. Seward County with a record of 30-29. They have been one of the hottest teams in the Jayhawk West over the last 3 weeks. At the Week 7 slot in the conference season, they were sitting in 8th place, right there with Pratt, and all of a sudden they caught fire, especially with their numbers 1 and 2 pitchers. Tanner King has been the best pitcher in the Jayhawk West by far. He blanked the Dragons for quite a long time in that first game in Liberal. But that's past history. Now the Dragons and the Saints get set for meet for the 5th time this year. Miguel Reyes gets set to throw to Brendan Madsen, and we're set to go in this elimination game. Once again, thanks for joining us on the Blue Dragon Sports Network, and happy Mother's Day to everybody. First pitch at 10:01, and it's taking a little bit low and outside for ball 1.
Carp, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my wife Michelle and my mom Vanita for Mother's Day. We were coming over, ball 2 down. We were coming over this morning. Michelle gets a text from our oldest son Jordan, who might be tuned in. Jordan said, "You know, Mom, I thought about it, and without me, there really is no Mother's Day." So he was looking for he was angling for a gift.
There's a strike called to Madsen.
And, Jordan, I can just tell you that's not going to work out well for you.
318 average for Madsen, 2 home runs, 24 RBIs, and on base of 389. Fouls one back to the screen. Madsen here in Wichita is 3 for 9 with a double and 3 runs scored. Against the Dragons in 4 games, 5 for 14, a double, and 3 runs scored. Here's the 2-2 from Reyes. High chopper up the middle, and it's past the glove of speeding Dylan Nedved, and it's a leadoff single to start the game. That was a turf hit by far. That was a high chopper on this artificial turf surface here at Lawrence-Dumont Stadium.
Yeah, I think on a grass surface, Dylan gets to that. Now, whether he throws out Madsen, still would have been a tough play, but it most likely would not have reached the outfield as that one did.
There's right fielder Spencer Sackett. He had a long home run that tied the game at 5 last night against Barton. Pitch taken inside, ball 1. Sackett now hitting .323 with 7 home runs and 31 RBIs. That home run last night was the only hit here in Wichita. He's 1 for 8. Reyes' pitch inside again, 2-0. Umpires today, behind the plate, Nate Garrison at first base, David Hanslick, and at third base, Scott Friend.
A little bit more of a breeze today than what we saw yesterday with the Blue Dragons. And with it blowing like that at 10 a.m., you have to expect it's only going to pick up a little bit more throughout the day.
87-mile-per-hour fastball for a strike from Reyes, and it's 2-1 to Sackett. That foul off the foot, and Sackett goes down in a heap. That is one, when it initially happens, is one of the most painful experiences because that pain, as soon as it hits your foot, it goes immediately up your spine. And just like Sackett did, you just drop in a big heap. He's up and okay. Can't wait to see when Barton gets here. Their center fielder was undercut by the left fielder on a hit yesterday deep in the gap in left center, and Barton's center fielder was airborne.
Oh, wow.
He played for an inning and then was pulled. I hope he's okay.
That's one of those that could hurt a lot more the following day. Might have been a little tough for him to get out of bed.
That 2-2 pitch was pulled foul by Sackett outside the third base bag. One thing Reyes did the first time out against Seward, he threw nothing down the middle. That was down the middle. And was fortunate that thing wasn't pulled fair inside the bag. Time called at the plate by Sackett. Winners bracket final will be Cowley and Barton, the 2 conference champions. Pitch. It's a curveball. It's fouled back to the screen. Kind of a defensive swing by Sackett. I don't think he was looking for that curveball up at the eyes.
Off-speed pitches for Miguel are something that really increase his effectiveness, as it does for most pitchers. But when he's got that pitch on, he's able to mix that in at times when hitters aren't looking for it.
Pitch misses high. It's a full count now to Sackett. Expect Madden to be running here. Galen McSpadden will often run in full count situations. He doesn't run, and it's a high foul ball to the left out of play. Now an extended at bat between Sackett and Reyes. One on, nobody out, just underway here in Wichita. The winner moves to 7 o'clock tonight's elimination game. The loser season is over. Outside ball 4. And the way the Saints have been playing as of late over the last 3 weeks, they will jump on any mistake opponents are giving them. And that's one thing Miguel Reyes can't do is walk batters, because now they're going through the power of the order with Dylan Paul and Cade Ward.
And this is not the batter you want coming up when you're struggling with your control and not hitting your spots, because he'll take advantage of it.
Paul hitting .422 with 14 home runs and 60 driven in. That one's yanked foul, pitched right over the plate. So Miguel right now living on the edge early on. Here in the Wichita portion of this tournament, Cade Ward, 6 for 8, 3 doubles and a triple, 3 RBIs. Ward and Paul are right now just hitting the cover off the baseball. Breaking pitch inside. Paul nearly offered, but it's a ball, and the count evens at 1-1. Against Hutchinson in the regular season, Paul was 7 for 15 with 3 home runs. Reyes checks the runners. Now the 1-1 pitch. 74 mile per hour off speed, hits the outside corner. Count 1-2. We are able to see the speed of the pitch as they have the speed gun working on the scoreboard in left center field. Now the 1-2 from Reyes. Misses low, 2-2.
Saints are showing a lot of patience. They're going to make Miguel work, and that's 3 batters so far. All 3 have gone at least to a 2-2 count.
Pitch count already to 18. We're just 3 batters in. 2-2 pitch, got him swinging.
Big
strikeout. 1 away now. I think he went 3 straight off-speed pitches to get that strikeout all over the outer half. Now here's Cade Ward. Ward on fire right now. .431 average, 11 home runs, 52 RBIs. Ward, 6 for 8 with 3 RBIs in the Wichita tournament. Strike called.
Again off speed, which shows you Miguel's got some confidence in those pitches early in this game.
Ryan Schmidt describes Miguel Reyes as a guy with a lightning arm. Just wait till he figures out the game. 5th straight off-speed pitch misses inside, and the count 1-1. Cade Ward against the Dragons, 7 for 15 this year with 3 doubles and 5 RBIs. Reyes' 1-1 is pulled foul. One hop the batting cages outside the left field foul pole.
Ward has hit into just 1 double play this season, but this would be an ideal time for number 2.
It'd be a confidence-building kind of play. It's a bit of a slow start for Hutch here in the top of the first. 1-2. Is high pop, shallow center. Back goes Dylan Nedved, the shortstop. He's got it, and there's 2 away.
Important here for Miguel not to have any kind of a letdown now that there's 2 outs. Certainly it's a much different situation, but there's still an important out to get, and it's not an easy bat to get it against.
Joseph Kuhn, 12 home runs on the year with a .417 average, 35 driven in. Here in Wichita in 2 games, Kuhn 3 for 8 with a triple, a home run, and 4 RBIs. Kuhn was 4 for 11 with 2 home runs in the regular season series against Hutchinson at the last weekend of April.
.417 hitter on the season, so he certainly knows how to handle the bat.
Another foul ball. Kind of a delay call from the umpires, but it was clearly off Kuhn's foot.
Carp, that speed gun that they've got on the scoreboard. You spend the entire tournament over here. Nice off-speed pitch on the inside corner. You spend the entire tournament over here. You're not going to convince me you haven't snuck down there at some point and given one a toss to see what it registers.
I stay at the press box pretty much all the time. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Garrett Stevens tags out Kuhn, and a nice job by Miguel Reyes. First 2 reached. Strikeout, pop out, strikeout, and the Saints are turned away in the first. After half inning, Seward County nothing, and the Dragons coming up. Welcome back to Lawrence-Dumont Stadium, everybody. Seward County scoreless on the top. Now the Blue Dragons get their first look at freshman left-hander Ryan Thomas. 8-2, or a 2-8 record with 2 saves, 1 complete game, 6.24 ERA, making his 10th start. 53 in the third innings pitched, 80 hits allowed, 47 runs, 37 earned, 44 strikeouts to 8 walks, and he has given up 6 home runs. He'll face the hot-hitting Brock Schaefer. Second most RBIs in a single game in Blue Dragon history with 6 of them yesterday. First pitch swinging, and Brock stays hot as he laces one into left field for a base hit.
Thomas threw against the Blue Dragons in that series at Hobart Detter Field. Went 4 innings, gave up 7 hits, 5 earned runs in a game that Hutchinson won 6-5 in 8 innings.
Now Logan Sartori. 346 average, 9 home runs, 55 driven in. We'll see if the Dragons go for an early lead and try to manufacture a run. Sartori not showing, but he takes low ball 1. In the postseason, Logan Sartori 8 for 20. That's a 400 average, 3 doubles, 4 RBIs. That hit now for Schaefer, his 8th in the postseason. Line shot left field. That's going to get down for a hit. Schaefer will head for third. Here comes the throw. Comes all the way through. Everybody's safe. Sartori moves up to second. And the Dragons have him at second and third and nobody out.
Carp, there was we talked yesterday and even the top of the first about the influence of the turf. A perfect example there is the left fielder kind of had to play back because he didn't want that hop to get over his head, and that extra bounce enabled Schaefer to motor to third.
Now Divis hits one to the right side. This will get the run home. Bergdahl, the second baseman, fields and throws out Divis. The Wyatt drives in his 57th run of the year, and Hutchinson has a 1-0 lead. Moving up to third on the play, Logan Sartori. So the Dragons jump early, and the bats still continue to click with Bobby Morganson stepping in. Bobby hitting .332, 10 home runs, 55 RBIs. First pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Dragons are swinging so early in counts, I'm not getting all the numbers in. Morganson in the postseason, 5 for 19, 6 RBIs. The career RBI leader at Hutchinson now with 141. Lefty kicks him, fires high, chopper to first. The first baseman Ward steps on the bag, but coming home to score is Logan Sartori, and Hutchinson does manufacture a couple of runs, now leading 2-0, bases empty, 2 away for Dylan Nedved.
Nice job by Wyatt and Bobby both, taking that ball to the right side. Being left-handers, it's a little more natural for them.
Now Nedved bounces one to short. Caraballo has it, pours it across, and the inning is over. A nice start for the inning, or nice start for the game for Hutchinson. 2 runs, 2 hits, nobody left after 1 inning here in Wichita. Hutchinson 2 and Seward County nothing. Jose Caraballo leads off the second for Seward County. Hutchinson with a 2-0 lead. Steve Carpenter, Denny Steckline with you from Lawrence-Dumont Stadium in Wichita. Caraballo takes inside ball 1. Caraballo hitting .347, 5 home runs and 47 RBIs. Inside ball 2 to Caraballo. Here in Wichita, 2 games. Caraballo 2 for 8, 1 RBI. Caraballo against the Dragons in the regular season, played all 4 games, was 4 for 14. Now it's 3-0, so.
Not the way you want to see Miguel respond to that, coming out missing the zone on 3 straight pitches.
Taking all the way, it's a strike. Caraballo was ready to chuck the bat and head to first. And that bought Reyes maybe a couple of inches on the outside corner. 3-1 pitch is pulled foul past Galen McSpadden into the third base box. Galen McSpadden coached his 2,000th game in his 37-year coaching career a few weeks ago. Payoff pitch is popped up, shallow right center. Brock Schaefer, Julian Ripp coming in. It's Schaefer taking charge, and there's 1 away.
Nice job by Miguel there. You know, he missed on those first 3. So down in the count 3-0, and then he battles back and able to get the out.
Out third baseman Benny Ayala. Ayala, a .273 hitter, 12 home runs, 37 RBIs, but he has been clutch down the stretch for the Saints. Reyes' pitch is high and tight.
89 on the gun with that one. Seen more fastballs so far this inning than I think we saw much of the first.
Ayala 1 for 7 here in Wichita. Now it's 2-0. For Ryan Schmidt and Scott Weller, this is a bit of a disturbing trend for Reyes, falling behind 2-0, 3-0 to almost every batter. But yet the Saints are still scoreless. Ground ball, hard hit, foul outside of third. The reason is simple. You don't want to fall behind batters consistently. You're eventually going to have to start pouring fastballs right down the heart of the plate. And there's too many good hitters in this league, and they will jump all over it. 2-1 the count now to Ayala. The pitch. Hard hit ball. Diving stop Divis. He gets up, fires across in time for out number 2. There's a web gem for Wyatt Divis. Nice play. Did with a headlong dive to his left, and he got up and threw a strike over to Zach Baxley. 2 up and 2 down for second baseman Cole Bergdahl. Bergdahl, 310 hitter, 6 home runs, 41 RBIs. First pitch swinging, and he pops it up on the infield. It's Logan Sartori making the call. He's got it. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Miguel Reyes.
Nice job by Miguel to bounce back after that initial start to the inning and finish it strong.
3 up and 3 down for the Saints in the second. We head to the bottom of the second, 2-0 Blue Dragons.
What did he tell you? Did he own up to what it was? Oh, okay.
He was in the dog pile when we beat Coffeyville.
Yeah.
That walk-off.
He had his sunglasses on, just like what you do. And he got smashed in there. Well, the bottom here, right here, you got that bone, not much flesh, and it sliced it open. And of course,
Maybe it was Michelle getting a hold of him after he snapped a streak yesterday in the ninth.
yeah, Michelle was worried about the glasses. Oh my God! And of course, being Ryan, he could. Most people would wipe it off or do whatever. Well, no, he walked around as long as he could with it. Hey.
Coming back. Zach Baxley lead off the bottom of the second for Hutchinson. Dragons leading 2-0.
Well, we're still talking about that great play by Wyatt at third, and that's a great play by someone who plays third base for, day in and day out. And Wyatt doesn't do that. He moves around, he DHs, he pitches, which speaks to even what a great play it was, sandwiched between the fly out and the pop out for a quick inning for Miguel.
Currently riding a team-high 6-game hitting streak. Zach Baxley hitting .347, 51 total hits, 6 home runs, 36 RBIs. He has a 1-1 count against Ryan Thomas, the pitch. Swinging a pop-up behind first, drifting back is Ward, and he makes the catch. A little bit tougher than it needed to be as Cole Bergdahl was right in the neighborhood. And there's one away here in the second.
We saw some of that impact there of this wind we talked about earlier, Carp, because off the bat that looked like it was probably a foul ball, and it ended up being in fair territory, and Ward made a nice play, but he was still moving to his right when he snagged that one.
Here's Garrett Stevens, .291 average. He's been struggling. There's a swing and a miss. Garrett still hitless in the postseason, 0 for 15. He has struck out 6 times. He was on a tear mid-season and has since tailed off. Now 3 for his last 28. Pitch outside, and it's 1-1. Garrett, though, to his credit, has not let his defense and his receiving behind the plate be affected by the offensive woes. Cued off the end of the bat foul. Right now, it just seems like he's off balance swinging. That swing, he was way out of kilter on that one. Barely got a piece of it.
Yeah, he got the day off yesterday. Scott Wolverton played in his place, so we'll see if that rest and chance to refocus maybe helps him today.
Now the 1-2 from Thomas.
How about
in
that?
The center field. That's a base hit. Garrett Stevens' first base hit of the postseason.
Doesn't that make a head coach look like a genius when you give a guy a day off when he's 0 for 15 and the first at bat up, he gets a base hit?
Third hit of the game for Hutchinson, and that'll bring up Scott Wolverton. Yesterday, Wolvie 1 for 4 with 4 RBIs, but that one hit may have been the biggest, as that might have been the match that lit the fuse for this Blue Dragon offense that had been slumbering. Strike one to Wolverton, now hitting .257, a home run, and 18 RBIs. Going into the game yesterday, Hutchinson was hitting just .255 in the postseason. That average climbed to .272 yesterday. Now 3-2 in postseason play, 3-0 in elimination games. Breaking pitch for a strike from Thomas, and it's very quickly 0-2 to Wolverton. Thing is, Wolvie had really good at bats yesterday. He had a bases loaded walk, he had a sac fly, and he battled every at bat. There's the pitch. Did he go around? They will appeal, and Wolvie did check his swing, and it's 1-2. That is one thing I've noticed. Baseball umpires here in Region 6 know how to call a check swing. The softball umpires in Topeka had no clue how to call check swings. Saw plenty of that last Sunday up in Topeka. Now the 1-2 to Wolverton. High, count even at 2-2.
You know, Ryan Thomas on the mound for Seward. There's a past connection to Seward County. His father, Darren, who's the head coach at University of Texas Arlington, where Wyatt Divis will play next year, is a former Saint player and coach.
Thomas comes set now, delivers. And there's a fly ball left center field. On the run is Shope, and it lands. It will be a ground rule double. And unfortunately for Hutchinson, that'll cost them a run. So a ground rule double by Wolverton. That forces Stevens to have to stop at third, but the Dragons for the second straight inning, second and third, with one out. And Julian Ripp will be the batter, and Galen McSpadden is going to come out of the dugout. I would imagine, somebody's going to start heading down to the Seward County bullpen right now.
Well, and that explains why Dylan Paul's the designated hitter, because he's the first arm that's headed down to the bullpen for the Saints.
So the ground rule double for Wolverton, but he's cheated out of an RBI because it's a ground rule double. That is Wolverton's 7th double of the year. He is now 2 for 6 in the postseason.
You know, if you're going to have a ground rule double that potentially keeps a run off the board, at least it happens with a pair of catchers.
Yes.
Anybody else running, and Garrett's got good speed, but anybody else running, you know that run's coming home. With catchers on the base pass, second and third, nobody out, we'll take that.
Garrett had a great read on that ball. He was at third when it bounced over the fence. He would have scored with ease. So now the Flying Dutchman, Julian Ripp, steps in, 296 average, 9 home runs, 39 RBIs. Ripp 2 for 15 in the postseason with a home run and 3 driven in.
Look how deep they are at the corners, Carp. What do you think? Would you? With Julian speed?
I would, but that's the way I love to play the game.
You don't need to, though.
Fly ball left. Coming on is Shope to make the catch. Tagging is Stevens, headed toward the plate. He will score, and Hutchinson leads it 3-0. Ripp driving in his 40th run of the year with his 3rd sacrifice fly. Now Wolverton at second, 2 away for the leadoff man, Brock Schaefer. Schaefer singled and scored his first time up. Schaefer came into the game hitting .338. He's now 8 for 24 in the postseason. Thomas delivers a strike right down the chute. Schaefer now against Seward County is 7 for 18. All 7 hits singles. The pitch. Inside and it hit him. Just grazed the uniform. So Schaefer reaches. First and second, 2 away for Logan Sartori. Logan yesterday, we talked about Schaefer and we talked about Wolverton. Sartori yesterday, a very quiet 3 for 5, 2 double, 3 RBI day. Sartori singled and scored his 9th postseason hit. And Sartori against the Saints coming in was just 2 of 14. Off-speed pitch taken low and outside for ball 1. Three runs, 4 hits for the Dragons. No runs, 1 hit for Seward County. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. This is the first time these two teams have hooked up in the postseason since that memorable 2010 season. These two teams played in the final. Hutchinson was the undefeated team. And the Dragons won in 12 innings to go to Grand Junction. Pitch taken high, and it's 2-1 now to Sartori. Dragons blew a 9th inning lead and ended up winning in 12. The 3 games here against Butler, Cowley, and Seward County. Pitch taken outside, 3-1. We're just really a microcosm of that entire postseason. That team won 8 postseason games. They trailed in 7 of them and came back and won those. It was amazing. The only game that they started and stayed ahead was Temple in an elimination game at Grand Junction. High pop, foul territory right side, and it will get out of play. Now a full count to Logan Sartori. So Wolverton at second, Schaefer at first. 3-2-2 out. They'll be moving on the pitch. A lot of room here at Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. This field, on average, about 10 to 15 feet bigger all the way around than any of the ballparks in the Jayhawk West. Runners go, the 3-2 delivery, and Sartori fights it off.
You know, it looks to be, 330 down the lines, Carp? It's kind of hard. It's hard to tell because the 330 is only at the point where the foul line is, because it immediately goes out from there. It does not come straight across the track. It goes deeper than that. So that's somewhat misleading in how short that porch is.
And those wells out there make things really interesting. The fence is kind of broken all along with posts, and there are a lot of quirky things. Once again, the runners go. Sartori swings and hits one high to left and deep. Maybe playable low for Shope. He gets it on the edge of the track, and the inning is over. Sartori just got under one and missed a home run. But the Dragons come up with one run on 2 hits. They strand a couple, and after 2 innings here in Wichita, Dragons 3 and the Saints nothing. Three nothing Dragons through 2 in this elimination game of the Region 6 tournament. Miguel Reyes will get 9-1-2 here in the Saints' third. Cruz Shope, Brendan Madsen, and Spencer Sackett. Cruz Shope, 367 hitter from the 9 hole, 4 home runs and 36 RBIs. First pitch swinging, and he chops one foul outside of third, and it wasn't foul by much.
No, they've had 3 or 4 of them just foul down the third base line so far in this game.
Shope here in Wichita, 1 for 6. He played 3 games against Hutch in the regular season, went 2 for 10 with an RBI. Again, pulled foul outside of third. So both teams being very aggressive early in the counts. Dragons have gotten the better of it. Nothing into the count to Shope. And that for Miguel Reyes is a rarity, being ahead in the count. Now the 0-2. Got him swinging on a great breaking pitch at 76 miles per hour.
You know, we talked those top 3 in the lineup, which we're now back to for the Saints, but they all took Miguel deep in the count. One of them went full, the other's 2-2, and fouled several pitches off. And I don't know if that's a change in their approach or just a matter of where we were in the lineup.
3 strikeouts now for Reyes. Brendan Madsen steps in. Madsen opened the game with a single to deep up the middle. And Reyes misses low ball 1. Over but low, and it's 2-0 now to Madsen. They did make one tournament schedule change, and this has more to do with the wingnuts, but the IF game on Tuesday will be at 1 o'clock. Strike called, 2-1 the count. Usually that's a 7 o'clock game, but because the wingnuts are getting ready to open their season, they moved it up to 1. That's on Tuesday if we play. Fly ball, actually a high pop in the infield. Sartori's got it. 2 away. And is now 2, 4, 7 in a row retired by Miguel Reyes.
That's 3 that have been retired via the pop-up on the infield. So Miguel's had some guys reaching and off balance with their swings.
Spencer Sackett walked his first time up. Strike called. Seward County last night took an early 3-0 lead on Barton. And then led 4-1. Strike 2 from Reyes. Barton took a 5-3 or a 6-4 lead. And then Sackett stepped up in the bottom or the top of the 8th. Did he go around? No. 1-2, close call. Sackett hit a 2-run home run to tie it. And Barton comes up with 2 in the bottom of the 8th and holds on to the 9th to win it. That was a very exciting game. Breaking pitch inside. Seward County had the bases loaded with 2 out. And Barton fans were pretty nervous, but they held on to win. And put the Saints in the losers bracket. The pitch just missed the inside corner. Also just missed Sackett. And the count runs full 3-2. Payoff pitch. He lost him. 2-out walk for Sackett. He's walked for the second time. And now Dylan Paul, the batter. You just get nervous when you walk Sackett and you bring in the hot hitters in Paul and Ward. Paul, on Friday against Colby, hit the Budweiser sign atop the scoreboard. First pitch swinging, pulled foul past first base coach Mike Davidson. Mike Davidson, truly one of the good guys in this league. He's been at Seward a long time with Galen McSpadden. Pitch outside.
Sackett 0 for 1 on the season in the stolen base department, so not a threat to run.
Reyes out of the stretch comes set. Now delivers. Misses outside again. So Gale looks like he's getting a little bit loose with his mechanics. A lot of those pitches are starting to sail. He just tighten things up, and he'll bring it right back in. So 2-1 pitch, a little bit low, 3-1. Now you're starting to flirt with danger a little bit.
Yeah, you get the first two batters in the inning in quick fashion to have 2 outs and nobody on, and then you walk the next batter and in danger of walking the one following him.
3-1 is lifted high and deep to right field toward the line. Rep on the run, has it just inside fair territory, and the Saints are turned away in the third. No runs, no hits, a walk and 1 left. 2.5 complete here in Wichita. Dragons 3 and the Saints nothing. Bottom of the third rolls around. Dragons looking to extend a 3-0 lead. They've scored in their first 2 at bats. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 here in the third. Divis, Morganson, and Nedved. Wyatt Divis with an RBI ground out to get the Dragons on the board. That was his 57th RBI of the season and his career 118th. He's now 7th on the all-time list. Takes inside ball 1.
Just about wore that one.
Wyatt Davis now 124 career hits, 35 doubles, which is fifth, 25 home runs, which is fourth in the all-time list. Slow breaking ball from Thomas, catches the outside corner. Div didn't think so by his body language. Strike called, and it's 1-1.
Well, and from our perspective up here, Carp, it was an awfully wide outside corner on that one.
Davis now 5 for 20 with 3 doubles and 3 RBIs in the postseason. Pitch called up.
Might have paid him back right there.
I think so. Home plate umpire Nate Garrison. 2-1 pitch. Inside, 3-1.
Those calls are easy to make from up here, aren't they, Carp?
We have about the best vantage point to see in and out. We got a pretty good perspective from up and down up here, too.
Yeah, we're further away from the plate than we are at Hobart-Detter. We can't really get up and down at Hobart, but
3-1 pitch is in on the fist and it's popped up. And it lands just off the facade of the press box to our left. And now Davis will face a 3-2 pitch upcoming from Ryan Thomas. Payoff pitch. Fouled off again. Once again, happy Mother's Day to everybody. We'll mention that throughout the broadcast. You got to, and our wives know what it's like to be a baseball mom. Not easy for them.
No question.
Once again, the 3-2. Ground ball third. Bobble momentarily by Ward, but he'll recover and take it to the bag. Dibbs still not running well. And I saw him this morning, and you'd made the mention yesterday that he took a sure triple and made a double out of it, and we were kind of razzing him this morning about it. Also, Noah Colhannick's parents, Alan and Shelley, were listening to the broadcast. I got a great tweet from them saying that was just funny stuff. So that one-liner from you yesterday has resonated.
Well, and that's the beauty of it. You get to know these young men well enough over the course of their careers here, and I think they come to expect it from us, whether it's on Twitter or over the air.
Or face-to-face.
Face-to-face.
1-0 to Morganson. Breaking pitch in for a strike on the inner half, and now it's 1-1.
And I have no doubt if I walked up to Wyatt and said, heck of a job turning that triple into a double, he would have a zinger coming right back my direction.
Oh, yeah. 1-1 pitch. Misses outside a slider, and it's 2-1. I have, since day one, I have given Wyatt Davis all kinds of fodder. Morganson hit with a pitch. So 1 out plunking. Bobby hit for the 7th time this year. And that is his 9th career HBP. For the Dragons, if you're keeping track, that is number 82 for the season. Still not even in the top 10.
Wow.
87 will get you in the top 10 in Blue Dragon history. Now 1-on-1 out for Dylan Nedved.
The season's not over yet. They may get there.
Yes. Pitch low and in. Nice stop by Joseph Kuhn, the catcher. That 2005 team, it caught the fancy of the fans in Grand Junction because they wore about 11 pitches in the 3 games they played out there, and every time a Dragon would get hit, the crowd would cheer with approval.
Huh. Morganson a perfect 10 for 10 on the year in the stolen base department, but a lot of those came early in the season. He's not had the green light and not run like he had, and I don't know what we'll see here out of him, especially with a lefty on the mound. That causes you to shorten that lead by a step or two usually. He's got a good lead, though.
2-0 pitch. Rip to left field. That's going to get down for a hit. Morganson will take a look, but stop at second. Nedved with his first hit of the game, 5th for the Dragons. And it's 1st and 2nd, 1 out for Zach Baxley.
Carp, that's going to bring Galen McSpadden out of the dugout, and he's already made the call to the pen. So the day for Ryan Thomas is going to end here in the bottom of the 3rd.
So the Dragons have something cooking in the 3rd, already leading 3-0. We'll tell you about the new Seward County pitcher after this break.
Redshirt sophomore Dylan Paul moves from the designated hitter position onto the mound now for the Seward County Saints with one away here in the bottom of the third. Paul making his 9th appearance, his 8th out of the pen, an 0-1 record on the season, 19 2/3 innings. Has allowed 23 hits in those 19 plus, 20 runs, 17 of them earned for a 7.78 ERA. 3 home runs allowed. And Carp, we were talking during the break here. It's our understanding now this Burns the designated hitter for the Saints. And if Dylan Paul were to not finish the game on the mound, if they make a pitching change, his bat leaves the lineup, does it not?
The only way he could stay in is if he remains in a position.
They may move him to first then.
Exactly.
And do some.
They would have to do some jostling with the line to keep that bat in the lineup. So Paul will now face Zach Baxley. Ground ball left side, and it's into left field for a hit. Morganson will be waved around. Nobody will third. Score, and moving up to third on a heads-up play is... Got my computer on the wrong. Nedved, thank you. Goes first to third. And yeah, the Saints nobody covered third. So Baxley now a 7-game hitting streak. He drives in a run, and Hutchinson leads at 4-0. Right now, if you're the Dragons, you just keep pouring it on. Here's Garrett Stevens. There's a ground ball to short. Carballo has it. Flips to second for 1 on to first. Double play. And that wraps up the inning. But the Dragons tally 1 more. 1 run on 2 hits. The hit by pitch becomes a big part of the inning. And after 3 innings here in Wichita, it's Hutchinson 4 and Seward County nothing.
Yep, coming back.
4-0 Hutch through 3. And Miguel Reyes has allowed just 1 hit over the span of his first 3 innings. 3 strikeouts, a couple of walks. None of the innings have been, well, 2 of the 3 innings have been a little bit tough. Second inning was quiet. Cade Ward to lead it off, the first baseman. Reyes just delivered his 56th pitch. The Saints have ran the pitch count up on Miguel. Ground ball to the shortstop, Dylan Nedved. He throws a strike to Baxley, and there's 1 away. The deeper you go into a situation like this, your confidence just continues to go. You get 1 win, it just kind of snowballs. And like only once has it happened where a team's lost the first game and come all the way through to win it. Ball went inside to Kuhn, the catcher. He struck out the first time.
So to pull from the repertoire of movie quotes, so you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. Ground ball up the middle, high chopper. Never has to wait for it. Fires across a strong throw to get Kuhn, and there's 2 away. Right now the Dragons got lucky there was a catcher running on that particular
Absolutely.
play.
That anybody else probably legs that out. And again, that's just another product of this artificial turf. He had to sit back and wait on that. But one of the benefits you get from turf like this is you get a lot of true hops. And it was tailor-made, came right into where he could fire it across.
Base is empty, 2 away for Caraballo. Strike called on a breaking pitch, and Caraballo was ducking.
Well, you know he's got the off-speed stuff working when you've got a batter bailing on it, and it's a called strike.
Pitch slowing in. Noah Colhanick's father, Alan, checking in via the text. Morning, Alan and Jelly up in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Hope things are going well in the Northland.
Swing and a miss. Late on a high fastball, and it's 1-2 down to Caraballo. Reyes into the Y in the pitch. Over but low, 2-2. Didn't miss by much.
Up to 81 degrees.
Weather's
Already
been
here.
great here. A little bit warm, but weather's been great. 2-2 pitch. They check down to first. Caraballo checks his swing, and it's 3-2. Again, a close pitch.
Yeah, I thought he checked it. The pitch must have been low because it didn't miss outside from our perspective up here. But the no swing was the right call.
3-2 pitch. Chop foul. Another thing you like about Miguel, and you mentioned this about White Davis yesterday, Danny. Quick pace.
Yeah.
Quick pace.
We're trying to come up with things that we don't have to come up with much to talk about between pitches because by the time Garrett gets the ball back to him, he's towing the rubber and ready to go.
Once again, the 3-2 to Caraballo. Pulled foul again.
Ooh, nicely snagged by Galen McSpadden.
The Hall of Famer showing the hands.
Getting the acknowledgement from Jamel Cervantes down in the dugout. He knows what's coming.
Oh, yes. Jamel is in serious trouble on Twitter. Third time 3-2 pitch is a high pop. In the infield, Logan Sartori calling off Dylan Nedved. Now a few steps into the grass. He's got it, and it's a 1-2-3 fourth inning for Miguel Reyes. Dragons coming up bottom of the fourth, leading Seward County 4-0. Scotty Wolverton leads off the bottom of the fourth inning for the Blue Dragons. It is 8-9-1 here in the fifth against Dylan Paul, who's come into the game in relief of Ryan Thomas. Wolverton, a ground rule double his last time up. The pitch, swing and a miss.
Paul's one start on the season did come against the Blue Dragons. In that series at Hobart Detter Field, went 5 innings, gave up 7 hits and 4 earned runs. Did strike out 8, but allowed 3 long balls by Hutch.
And it's the same pitching matchup as that game. Miguel Reyes started that game for Hutch. Off-speed pitch. Not sure where it missed, but it's called a ball. It's 1-1. That's a pretty good pitch.
That's a good-looking pitch. Must have been upstairs.
Breaking pitch misses low, 2-1. I'm sure Scott would like to wish his mom, Cindy, a happy Mother's Day.
See her sitting out in the sun working on her tan along with some of the other moms.
The pitch. This one catches the outside corner, and it's 2-2 now to Wolverton.
Got to give a shout-out, Carp, to somebody from your department, Allie Schweitzer, your sports information photographer who's on hand here today, and saw some of the pictures on Facebook that she took yesterday.
Wolverton lines one to right center field. That's going to get down, and we'll get to the gap.
That's
roll
to
the wall.
That's 3.
Wolverton's got a chance at 3. He makes the turn, and he is in safely. A triple for Scotty Wolverton to lead off the 4th.
Another big hit. Doesn't it make you feel great to see the way he's hitting the ball?
It really does. He's had such a struggle this year. That is his, this will blow you away, 4th triple of the year.
4th triple.
He's a catcher.
And it was a stand-up triple.
So now at third base is Wolverton, and Julian Ripp, the batter, with an RBI opportunity. And there's a line shot right center field. It could be back-to-back triples. Wolverton scores. Ripp will make the turn, head for third. And he will go and
score
stand
now.
Now the ball gets away. He's going to try to score. Here comes the throw. He is safe. It'll be a triple and an error. And the Dragons lead it 5-0. Check that, 6-0. Wolverton will get a triple and an error on center fielder Brendan Madsen on the throw.
Rip will get it on that one.
Right, that's right. Rip will get it. Thank you. And the Dragons have tallied at least 1 run in every inning, and they now lead it 6-0 with Brock Schaefer coming up. So it'll be a triple, RBI, and an error. Only 1 RBI for Rip.
That ball short hopped the shortstop coming in from the outfield, and he tried to scoop it up. And when he did, he hit the ball up in the air and probably about 15, 20 feet away from him. And Julian just kept right on motoring.
Brock Schaefer is 1 for 1. He has singled and scored and then hit with a pitch. Now 2-0. So in their last 6 innings, 17, 19, 21, 23 runs for Hutchinson in their last 6 at-bats. Shape swings and misses over the top of a breaking pitch. And if you're Hutchinson, you just continue to pour it on. Save innings. If you can save an inning here and there, as you try to do this long process of coming through the loser's bracket, the better off you are. Shea fooled on that pitch, goes around, and it's 2-2.
Well, and if they can keep this going, it's going to make it easier for head coach Ryan Schmidt to go a little bit longer with Miguel. Even though the pitch count's starting to work his way up there, if he can save some other arms.
Shea hit with another pitch on a breaking pitch on a 2-2 count. He's hit for the 2nd time.
3rd Blue Dragon to wear one today, and that's going to bring Galen McSpadden out.
I'm going to jump off real quick, Denny, and go give that official scoring to other people. So I'll be on that play by Rip. I'll be right back. Oh, pitching
change coming.
Well made, so we're going to take another break. We'll see what they do here. So Dragons leading 6-0 as Seward County goes to the bullpen.
Seward to the pen for their 3rd pitcher here as we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Nobody down. Hutchinson leading at 6-0. Braden Gould, freshman, right-hander, 17th appearance, his 14th out of the pen. A 8.34 ERA on the season, 2 wins, 1 loss. And now, Carp, we talked about this when Dylan Paul went in to pitch. They did not put him anywhere defensively. So our understanding and that understanding in the official scorer's booth is that he's done for the day. And I can't imagine that they did this knowing his bat would leave the lineup.
Right. So we'll see how it comes up. I don't think you can go back in as a DH. When you started as DH and you're put in as a pitch, you cannot come back out as a DH. So Sartori takes strike 1. This is Gould's second appearance here in Wichita. He threw 2/3 of an inning yesterday against Barton. Little looper center field, and that drops in for a hit. Schaefer will stop at second. Hutchinson now has 9 hits in the game. And Sartori 2 for 3.
Still nobody away.
Third baseman Wyatt Dibbs will be the batter. For the Dragons, you got to look at this, and I'm being greedy, and that's probably not the thing to do. But go for the kill here. Get this game, then hold them in the 5th and get this game over by run rule. It's 10 after 5, 8 after 7. These run rules coincide with the run rules in Grand Junction. Now Dibbs 0 for 2 with an RBI. There's a ground ball to second. Could be 2. Bergdahl flips to second for 1. Then on to first, double play. Moving up to third is Schaefer.
I don't know if you caught that, Carp. Logan Sartori did a great impersonation of Willie Stargell there on his slide into second. Came up about 8 feet short of the bag, but, to Logan's credit, he was getting out of the way of the second baseman, turning that double play, giving him a chance to make the throw, which is shows good baseball on both sides.
Here's Bobby Morganson, 0 for 1 with a ground out. He's been hit with the pitch and scored a run, so he's been very productive despite not having a hit yet. You will never see the takeout slide you saw in Game 2 of the 1977 ALCS when Hal McRae, in essence, roll block through Willie Randolph, and he landed in short left center field. That clip is on YouTube. You've got to see it if you want to see the greatest takeout slide at second base, and nothing happened but besides him being called out. A run scored for the Royals. And that was typical Royals Yankees of that era.
Well, there was another play, and I don't know when this one happened, but I remember it at George Brett at third with Craig Nettles.
Game 5.
Punches thrown, and nobody ejected. Nobody ejected. Don't we miss the good old days?
Yeah, and that video, that clip's also on YouTube. Swing and a miss. It's 2-1 now to Bobby. I love showing that clip to my students because nobody can believe that baseball used to be played that way. That was commonplace.
You look at a guy wrong now, and they're going to toss you.
Willie Randolph landed in short left field after Hal McRae roll blocked him. But he went right through the base. Morganson swings and fouls one.
Well, and we're both Royals fans. He kind of went through the base. He ran through the base. You'd have to admit, that slide didn't start until...
no. Well, there really wasn't a slide. It was more like a roll block.
Barrel roll.
Yes.
A barrel roll.
And I just loved it. I can't remember who was the second base umpire. He just nonchalantly threw his hand up. He's out. That was it. Now the 2-2. That's line to left coming on to Shope. He's got it measured.
Oh, he dropped it. He dropped it.
Run scores. Morganson heads for second. That'll be an error on Cruz Shope. It will be no RBI. And now it's 7-0 Hutchinson. Shope came in and looked like he had it measured, and all of a sudden the ball just kind of jumped. That wind may have been a factor in that play.
And he was really discombobulated because even when he turned to make the catch, he had to reach and extend to his left quite a bit, so he never did read that ball well.
Now Nedved the batter. Dillon 1 for 2.
Action in the Seward bullpen, and that action started even when Gould came in. So Galen McSpadden understands the situation here. It's sudden death for his Saints.
High and tight to Nedved.
Here's the other part of that. That error on Shope would have been the third out, so now it extends the inning. Your pitch count's going to go up. A lot of things that go wrong in a situation like that.
Gould comes set. Now delivers the 2-0. High pop, left side of the infield. Caraballo drifting back into short left. Waiting for it and has it. And the Dragons are done in the fourth. So for Hutchinson in the innings, 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 Seward County errors, and 1 left on. We've completed 4 here in Wichita. Our new score, Hutchinson 7, Seward County nothing. Through 4 here in Wichita in this elimination game. Hutchinson 7, Seward County nothing.
You know, Carp, we talked yesterday. We saw some of our past Blue Dragon baseball players here at the park. And Brady Hoover now is here for the 3rd day in a row. And we look down and we see Bobby Morganson getting warmed up in left field as Miguel starts off with a strike.
86 on the gun.
We see Bobby warming up, and he's throwing the ball into the stands as he's warming up in left. So we both look down, and who's there?
Brady
Hoover playing catch. He brought his mitt to the park.
That's awesome. Ayala swings on a high fastball at 88.
Brady just wrapped up his first year at Washburn after a career with the Blue Dragon.
His senior year will be paid for by AARP. Ball misses outside and a little bit low 2-2 to Ayala.
I wonder if Bubs is around or tuned in. Bubs may have driven the bus from the senior center.
Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. One away here in the Saints' 5th. That is strikeout number 4 for Miguel Reyes. In that game against Seward at Hobart Detter Field, Reyes struck out 8. Now Cole Bergdahl, the second baseman. First pitch swing, hits one to right center field. Rip and Schaefer both on the run, and it's Julian Rip making the catch, and there's 2-way. That'll bring up Cruz Shope. Shope struck out his first time up against Reyes. 7 runs, 9 hits for Hutchinson. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors for Seward County.
Getting some Twitter action from Bob and Mary Ruxlow.
Line drive to Dylan Nedved. He's got it, and this top of the 5th inning goes very quickly. It's another 1-2-3 for Miguel Reyes. 4.5 in the books, 7-0 Hutchinson. 7-0 Dragons, home half of the fifth. Hutchinson is the home team. It'll be Zach Baxley, Garrett Stevens, and Scott Wolverton to face Braden Gould, the third Saints pitcher. If you're Hutchinson, be greedy and get 3 more and end this thing in 5. First pitch to Bax, taken downstairs, ball 1. Zach, with his third inning single, extending his current hitting streak to 7 games now. It was an RBI single. Ground ball to short. And Carbile has it, pours it across in time for out number 1.
Started to give a shout out to Bob and Mary Ruxlow when that last half inning ended. Seeing some Twitter action from them. I don't know if they're tuned in or not, but the parents of former Blue Dragon Alex Ruxlow, who's now, I think, just wrapped up his career at Fort Hays State University.
Here's Garrett Stevens, 1 for 2. That single in the second, his first postseason hit. And he takes strike 1 from Gould. There's a high pop, shallow right. Cole Bergdahl makes the call and has it in short right field very quickly, 2 away.
No pressure, Scotty, but the Dragons haven't gone in order yet.
Here's Scott Wolverton, a double and a triple runs scored. That triple by Wolverton, his 4th of the year. Only Zion Boland's 5 has more on the team. Swing and a miss by Wolverton.
Carp, you were doing some math between innings here, not counting this bottom of the 5th, but in the last 6 at-bats, Hutch has put 23 runs on the board going back to the 8th inning yesterday. And we worried about and talked about whether they would keep that offense moving, and, no goose eggs on the board yet for him today. So 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth.
Wolverton takes a breaking pitch low and in. Count even at a ball and a strike. Next pitch is a late swing by Wolverton, fouled out of play to the right, out into the parking lot. One thing about old Lawrence-Dumont, your car stands a fairly decent chance of getting hit by a foul ball. Here's the 1-2 to Wolverton. Hit him. Right in on the upper part of the left arm.
Well, so much for a 1-2-3 inning. And the 4th Blue Dragon to wear one today.
That's now 85, 2 away from the top 10.
I told you. It may happen in this one.
Here's Julian Rip. Rip with a sacrifice fly and an RBI triple and a run scored. Rip now has 41 RBIs for the year. He hits one to right.
Pretty well hit.
Lifting back is Sackett. He will chase it down, and the Dragons are done in the 5th. First time they've been held scoreless in 7 at-bats. No runs, no hits, 1 left. The Dragons have stranded 5 through 5. We head to the 6th here at Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. Dragons 7 and the Saints nothing. Be the top of the order for Seward County. We were speculating earlier about the availability of Dylan Paul, who started as the DH, came in to pitch. And then he sees him grabbing a bat in the dugout. That spot would hit 3rd in the order. It's the top of the order against Miguel Reyes, Madden, Sackett, and whoever comes up in that 3rd spot. And we imagine it is going to be Dylan Paul. Madsen first pitch swinging. He lines one over a leaping Dylan Nedved for a base hit. Just the 2nd hit allowed by Miguel Reyes, and it was Madsen who led off the game with a single. Now Spencer Sackett, the right fielder, who's walked twice. Dragons about hit Seward now 9-2. Reyes' pitch. Foul bat. The Saints team over the last 3 weeks of the regular season, probably the hottest of any Jayhawk Conference team. They dominated Hutchinson in the 2 games at Brent Gould Field. Breaking pitch inside. Sackett tried to throw the elbow out.
He tried to reach that way.
Dragons lost those first 2 games 8-2 and then trailed big in the second game before rallying to fall 13-10. Sackett pulls one well foul. And he's down in the count to Reyes, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dragons, though, were very resilient some 24 hours later. They fell behind 3-0 early in the first game at Hobart Debtor Field and rallied to win in 8 innings. 1-2 pitch. Did he go around? They checked down. The appeal's not given, and it's 2-2.
Must have been down low. You know, with Mattson at first, you're down 7-0. He's probably not running. He's 0 for 1 on the season. But it's got to be one of the most amazing statistics for anyone.
High pop on the infield. Is Dylan Nedved waiting for it. He's got it, and there's 1 away.
The number of stolen bases on the season for the Saints in 59 games. You know that number, don't you, Carp?
I did look and let them have it because the Saints.
A grand total of 7.
Yeah. And they've given up 50. Saints have never been a big running team under Galen McSpadden. They've had certain base runners, but they have not been a big running team this year.
You know, and it would be a fun conversation to have because Galen is obviously a highly successful coach and extremely good at what he does. There's a philosophy there that he obviously subscribes to with that. It'd be neat to pick his brain about it and see what the thinking is behind not really trying to take that extra base because they've been thrown out 6 times, so it's not like they've even attempted very many.
Pulled foul again by Paul, who is hitting. So evidently there's a caveat to the lineup that even I didn't even know about.
Well,
but there are no complaints out of the Dragon dugout, so
no.
Obviously it is a completely legitimate move.
This would not be the first time that you nor I have been wrong.
1-2 pitch, a little bit low.
As our wives, if they're tuned in, are both shaking their heads saying that's absolutely true.
Oh, yes. I'm sure Tina is completely in complete agreement with you. It's probably a good thing Michelle and Tina don't get together more.
That's true. And Michelle's here, so I know she's not listening. So
2-2. Just missed the inside corner, full count. Pitch count now for Miguel up to 85, 51 for strikes. Bullpen quiet for the Dragons as Johnson County hits the cage for their BP session.
Paul has grounded into 3 double plays, so not going to happen this time.
1 in, ball 4. And is the 3rd walk issued by Miguel Reyes. Now it's 1st and 2nd, 1 out for Cade Ward, the first baseman. 0 for 2, a pop-up and a ground out to Dylan Nedved. Saints have 2 double plays in the game. Dragons still looking for their first. This would be an opportune time. The pitch, that hit him. And Miguel, his mechanics were completely the issue there. He tried to pull a Louis Tion, almost turned too much behind him, and his arm never recovered to get back around, and the pitch rode right in on Ward to hit him. So now the Saints have something cooking, and you need to let a sleeping dog sleep. Saints have him loaded with 1 out, and Ryan Schmidt is going to have one of those famous mound visits that you like to see, Danny.
Yeah, and I think this one, and Miguel knows what this one's going to be. When you've got a 7-0 lead, you have a 1-hitter going into the 6th inning. It's not a time to lose focus, and I think Ryan Schmidt is just going out there to kind of bring him back to center, get him focused again on what he needs to do. And as we watch it, the rest of the infield are just casual observers to this one, and even Miguel is. This is all Ryan Schmidt delivering a message.
And when he's out there, he is looking dead square into his pitcher's eyes. Nate Garrison, the home plate umpire, breaks up the visit. So it's Madsen at third, Paul at second, Ward at first, Joseph Kuhn the batter. He's got some pop, so bit of a nervous moment for Hutchinson as Seward County, who has been a team that has been capable of rallying late over the last 4 weeks. They rallied late last night to tie it against Barton.
See how Miguel responds to that visit.
The pitch. Low, a nice stop by Garrett Stevens, saves a run. He really ditched that pitch at about 58 feet.
And Dayton Lane is going to make a trip down to the Blue Dragon bullpen and start stretching and getting loosened up as Eric Williams follows him down there and will start catching for him here momentarily.
Low 2-0 again as Garrett Stevens saves a run. No lead is safe in college baseball. I've said this for many years, that big leads disappear faster in college baseball than in any other sport. Ground ball left side, that's a base hit. Madsen scores, Paul being waved around third. Throw coming in, but it'll be cut off. It's a 2-run single for Kuhn. And the Saints are on the board now, trailing Hutchinson 7-2. So Dayton might want to crank it up quick. It's not so much the hit, but the walk and the hit by pitch really did not help out Miguel Reyes. Now 3 hits in the game. Here's Jose Caraballo, 0 for 2. Double play still in order. Line to left field. That's going to get down. Rounding third is Ward. He will score. The throw comes in to third, and it's 7-3. And all of a sudden, Miguel Reyes is leaking oil at a pretty high rate.
Tried to get ahead of Caraballo with one there, and Caraballo was ready for it, and first pitch swinging, lined it sharply into left.
So it's a 3-run inning for the Saints. Still first and second, 1 out for Benny Ayala. 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Reyes' delivery took something off of it at 75 miles per hour, and Ayala plenty out in front for strike 1.
I think Ayala was looking for that first pitch fastball that Caraballo got. Miguel was one step ahead of him there.
Good pitch call from the dugout. Now 0-1 to Ayala, the pitch. Another changeup at 76. Dropped off the end of the table. Ayala swings over the top of it, and it's 0-2.
Do you come with the heater, Ricky, or do you come back with what's got you there to the 0-2 count?
I would go up the ladder, make sure I miss, just to change the eye level, then drop the changeup again on 1 and 2. Middle infield, a double play depth for the Dragons. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 consecutive changeups.
Came right back with it.
So, big strikeout for Reyes, now 2 away. Now Cole Bergdahl, the batter. He's a very dangerous hitter. He's 0 for 2. He's not a bad hitter in this Saints lineup 1 through 9. That's what makes them, you just got to keep them down. Hard hit ball through the left side for a base hit. Kuhn being waved. And the throw will come into third. And it's a 4-run inning for the Saints in the 6th. And Hutchinson's leads down to 3. And now we got a ball game.
Yes, we do. And this certainly not what you wanted to see with a comfortable lead coming into it. But, you know, this is about the time yesterday we had a shutout going. That one was in the 7th. And here we are in the 6th, to where just a little bit of a mental letdown.
Yeah, Ryan Schmidt comes out. And that's going to be the day for Miguel Reyes. He will leave the game with the potential to win the game. He can't lose it. And we will see Dayton laying out of the bullpen. We'll tell you about Dayton right after this break. sophomore right-hander out of College Station, Texas. Dayton Lane taking his warm-up tosses, replacing Miguel Reyes with 2 outs here in the 6th. Hutchinson now leading Seward County 7-4. Dayton Lane making his 23rd appearance of the year, all out of the bullpen. The 3-2 record with a 2.15 earned run average. He has 4 saves on the year. 37 2/3 innings pitched, 25 hits, 17 have been earned. 24 strikeouts to 9 walks. Opponents hitting 180 against him. He comes into the game with runners at first and second, 2 outs. Cruz Shope will be the 9th batter of the inning. Hutchinson came into this inning leading 7-0. And after a leadoff single by Madsen, it was 1 out, and then Paul walked, and Ward was hit by a pitch. Kuhn with the 2-run single, Caraballo with an RBI single. Now Bergdahl with an RBI single. And Shope 0 for 2 against Reyes faces Dayton Lane, who drops a strike in there, off-speed pitch at 74. And yesterday, in his appearance, Dayton Lane was throwing a lot of off-speed pitches, more than he normally did.
He has, and we've seen quite a bit of that out of Dayton.
That hit him.
And we've also seen that more often than we'd like to, and especially when he's ahead in the count, that he's probably trying to come back with another off-speed pitch, and that one doesn't bite for him.
Lane hits his 5th batter of the year. 2nd here in the postseason. Lane in the postseason making his 3rd appearance. He has a 1-0 record. No ERA, 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 unearned run, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. Now it's back to the top of the order, and Brendan Madsen takes the strike on the outside corner. So now the tying run at the plate. High fly, center field shallow, and Brock Schaefer, he slows down, has it measured, and the inning finally over. But 10 come to the plate for the Saints, 4 score. 4 runs, 4 hits, and 3 left on. And after 5.5, our new score, Hutchinson 7 and Seward County 4. Brock Schaefer to lead off the 6th. The Dragons responded to the Neosho County challenge yesterday. Now Seward County cuts the 7-run lead to 3. Schaefer pops one up just behind the bat. It lands fair. The pitcher recovers and throws it, and it's an error on the pitcher. Braden Gould, who got fooled initially on the pop-up. It landed just behind the mound. Then he picked it up, tried to, with a bare hand, he threw a low throw to Ward at first. Schaefer safe on the error. Third error of the game for Seward County, and now Logan Sartori, the batter. He's 2 for 3 with a run scored.
Everything about that should have been an out, so let's see if the Blue Dragons can take advantage of that and get some of these runs back that they just allowed in the top half of the inning. Another throw to first. Having a few internet connection issues here with our hotspot. Shouldn't affect the live stream or the audio, but the Twitter feed and some of the stats might be interrupted shortly.
There's a strike. And Denny, I'm going to give the play-by-play to you for a little bit so I can get this corrected.
All righty. 0-1 now the count to Sartori. Schaefer at first, nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth. Dragons trying to respond after the Saints put 4 on the board top half to cut the lead to 7-4. Called strike. Now 0-2 to Logan. Another beautiful day here at Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. Schaefer with a good lead. Foul tip at the plate. Sartori stays alive. And now the umpire throws a new ball to Gould, as does his catcher throws the ball back. So Gould was dodging baseballs there for a moment. It's been a rough half inning for him already with that little pop-up by Schaefer, and then a couple of folks tossing baseballs back at him simultaneously. Grounded foul. You know, with the ability, Carp, of Dayton Lane to come in and close out that top of the sixth, how important is it now, that big 13-run ninth inning yesterday, that it enabled Ryan Schmidt to leave Dayton in the dugout and not pitch the ninth inning and spread that work out a little bit and give Dayton a little bit more time today?
Well, I mentioned it earlier that anytime you can save a pitch.
Bounces up there, and Schaef's going to move his way down to second.
I mean, a wild pitch. Anytime you can save an inning here, an inning there, whether it be for a particular pitcher, whether it can be just for the team as you're trying to come through the loser's bracket, it's always a benefit. And, you know, now Dayton Lane available probably for extended service today is absolutely huge.
Yeah, because he didn't throw very many pitches there in the top half of this inning. 1-2 now the count to Sartori. Fists this one towards short. Caraballo's going to throw it across, and that's an error. Schaefer's going to come around to score. Sartori's going to make his way to second.
Will not be an RBI, but a run scores, and the Dragons again step up and meet the challenge. But a couple of errors by the Saints, now 4 in the game. That was just a bad throw by Caraballo.
And Galen McSpadden just has to be beside himself. You know, he's seen it all in his many, many years, 37-plus coaching, but to get 4 on the board and make this a ball game again and then immediately come out where we should be 2 up, there should be 2 away, nobody on. Instead, the Blue Dragons have a run home and a runner at second with nobody out, and have not hit the ball anywhere close to solidly.
Wyatt Divis still looking for his first hit. He had an RBI ground out his first time up.
Boy, fouled that one off the facade of the box up here, and Russ Hopkins, Matt Hopkins' dad, just casually grabbed it, flipped it into the Blue Dragon dugout.
Smooth. They really are trying to work Wyatt Divis over inside.
The effort from Peter Sartori on that one wasn't near as solid as the one by Russ Hopkins. Fortunately, neither of them are looking up here because we'd be giving them grief if they were.
Nothing to do. The count to Divis. About ready to come back. I think I almost have it figured out here.
Oh, 0-2 to Wyatt Divis. Gould comes set, checks Sartori at second. This one's way upstairs. Kuhn has to go up and snag it.
All right, give yours a shot, Denny. I think we're up and running again.
Saints playing Wyatt straight away. There we go. Looks like you got it, Carp.
Technology's wonderful when it works. 1-2 is hit well center field. Over to his right is Madsen. Makes the catch over his head. Tagging and heading for third is Sartori. Well, Div has no hits to show for his afternoon. He's had a fairly productive afternoon. That moves up a runner.
RBI ground out in the first that brought the first run of the game home. And that one moves Logan up now, and with just 1 away. And Bobby Morganson at the plate gets him in position to score. like we're back up and running from a technology standpoint.
Yep, Bobby 0 for 2, an RBI ground out in the first, hit by a pitch in the third and scored. He hits one well to right, going back is Sackett. He will chase it down. Sartori tags and comes down the line to score. 9-4 Blue Dragons. So just like yesterday, Denny, the Dragons respond to the challenge.
They have, and 2 runs now here in this inning without virtue of a base hit. The 2 Saint errors have been extremely costly. This inning should have been over a batter ago.
Morganson now with 57 RBIs. Dylan Nedved takes ball 1, I believe. Didn't register on the score. There it is. The pitch. Misses low, 2-0. Nedved 1 for 3. A single in the third inning. It's a fly ball to center to his left. Madsen still going now, slowing down. He's got it. And that'll do it for the Dragons in the 6th. 2 runs, no 2 errors, nobody left on. We've completed 6 innings. Our new score, Hutchinson 9, Seward County 4. Well, the Dragons responded offensively with a pair of runs in the bottom of the 6th to sort of counteract Seward County's 4-run 6. Now it's up to Dayton Lane to reestablish the Dragons defensively. He will face 2, 3, and 4 here in the Saints 7th. Sackett, Gould, and Ward. And he starts Sackett off with a strike. Spencer Sackett 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Breaking pitch at 73, drops in for strike 2.
Has he thrown a fastball yet?
I don't believe he has. 0-2 pitch. Check swing foul. And that pitch really fooled Sackett, and he barely got a piece to stay alive. Dayton Lane now. This is his 44th career appearance. 6-3 career record with 11 saves. That is number 4 all-time in Blue Dragon history for saves. Lane a career .279 ERA. Now to wind up the pitch. High fly ball left side down the line. Long run for Nedved. Nobody will get to it.
A lot of foul territory down that left field line. Reminiscent of Oakland Alameda County Coliseum.
Rated the worst ballpark in the major leagues. Been a lot of great games at that ballpark. Nothing into the count. Lane's pitch. Slider misses away. And it's 1-2. That might be a setup for what's about to come. Line shot, snagged by Logan Sartori, who got it at the high point. Logan's not all that tall, so it was a perfectly timed leap, and there's one away here in the Saint 7th.
That was reminiscent of the play his dad tried to make on that foul ball, but Logan looked a lot smoother and a lot more fluid with it.
Well, he's also a lot younger, so that could help as well. Sorry, Dad. Now Dylan Paul swings and misses at I don't think that was 39 miles per hour.
That's the pitch we've been waiting for you to throw, Carl.
Yes, that I might reach 39. Fastball inside, and it's 1-1.
And we don't get a reading on that one, so there may be a reset happening with that piece of technology as well.
Now outside, 2-1. Dayton working quick. He's even working quicker than Miguel Reyes was. Outside, 3-1. That fastball goes outside. 79. Now the gun's back up and running. Dayton paints the outside corner. Full count now to Paul. Paul 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 3-2 Mitch swinging a it. Strike 3. And it is 3 in a row retired by Dayton. 2 up, 2 down, and now Cade Ward, the first baseman. Ward 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch and scored in that 4-run 6th inning. That one's lined to the gap in left center field. It gets down. Schaefer hustles over to cut it off before the track. Making the turn is Ward, and he will make it in standing with a 2-out double. Sixth hit of the game for the Saints, the first for Ward. Now Joseph Kuhn. 2-run single in the 6th, got the Saints on the board. He's 1 for 3, is struck out and grounded out. 2 out in the inning, 9-4 Hutch. Lane working out of the stretch. Checks the runner. Checks him again, now delivers. Misses low and outside, ball 1. Ryan Schmidt has gone over these types of situations to the point where you just got to drive it in 2 out. You've got to bear down even harder to get out of innings. We're going to foul back. Dragons over the last 3 to 4 years, the pitchers have really struggled mightily in 2-out situations. Been much better this year.
You talked yesterday about the struggles with 2 strikes on a batter, but it's been much the same. And
Slider catches the outside corner, and it's 1-2 now to Joseph Kuhn. One Saints fan not real pleased with that particular
it probably
pitch.
was off the plate, but we've seen it called the entire game, and that's all you can ask for from an umpiring standpoint.
Nate Garrison told a very consistent zone today. I can tell because you and I haven't mentioned it pretty much all day.
No.
And we're about as discerning on umpires as anybody. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. What a pitch. Thing dropped right off the end of the table, and Dayton Lane gets 2 strikeouts in the 7th. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We've reached the 7th inning stretch here at Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. Dragons 9 and the Saints 4. Braden Gould on for his 4th inning of work. He's pitched fairly well for the Saints. 3 innings, 1 hit, 2 unearned runs. And a wild pitch at hit batsman. Ryan Thomas went 2 1/3 innings for the Saints. He gave up 5 hits, 4 earned runs. Dylan Paul worked 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 3 runs, only 1 earned. And now Gould has kind of locked down the Dragons a little bit. Gave up a couple of unearned runs his last inning. And it is strike 1 to Zach Baxley. 1 for 3 in the game, a run scored. That single coming in the second. Big swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. It is Baxley, Stevens, Wolverton, and then Julian Ripp here in the Dragons' 7th. Hutchinson is the home team.
Dylan Nedved starting to toss in the Blue Dragon bullpen. And what we've seen a few times this year would be an approach where he gets loosened up between innings and then goes back to shortstop, and if needed, then Coach Ryan Schmidt pulls him from shortstop to the mound.
Baxley chops one left side, fielded by Ayala. Low throw dug out over at first by Ward, and there's one away in the Dragons' 7th.
Ayala did a nice job there of charging that ball, which this turf gives you a truer bounce, but if he doesn't do that, then there's no way he's going to be able to make that play.
Here's Garrett Stevens, 1 for 3 on the afternoon. A single in the second and a run scored. He takes the strike. And that hit in the second, his first of the postseason. Garrett now 1 for 18 in his 5th postseason game. Swings and misses at that offering, and it's 0-2. So Braden Gould's giving the Saints a chance. His defense let him down an inning ago. 2 big errors. Saints have 4 in the game. Called strike 3, inside corner.
Same place that strike 1 was on.
Now Scotty Wolverton. Wolverton, 2 for 3, a double, a triple, a run scored. He hits one right center field. This will get down for a hit. Takes a big hop. Wolvie headed for second. He's in safely.
2 doubles and a triple now on the day for Scotty.
7 total bases. Nice Mother's Day present for Cindy. Once again, if you're just joining us, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, especially all the baseball moms. You always have a special place in mine and Denny's hearts. We know what you go through. Now Julian Ripp, the batter. Ripp 2 RBIs, 1 for 2. He had a RBI sac fly in the second, an RBI triple, and a run scored in the 4th. Ball 1 to Julian.
I know Tina's probably the same way, but I often told my boys that they had no idea how blessed they were to have a mom who loved sitting in the bleachers for baseball games and other sporting events and looked forward to being a part of that.
Now the 1-0 to Julian. Foul back, and that rattles around in the press box. Close to suite number 6 where the region people are hanging out. That's another thing I'm going to miss about it. Those unique sounds when the balls hit the press box.
Our athletic director, Josh Gooch, was down there earlier and peeked down to make sure I don't see him down there, so is he down there, Brandon? Okay.
Rip takes high and tight. Can't forget Brandon Sams. He's running the controls on a solo mission today. The man and the myth, the legend, Brandon Sams.
Something like that.
2-1 pitch. Rip fouls one back. Pretty good cut, but it's 2-2 now. Ryan Schmidt kind of has one of those 50-50 decisions to take. 5-run lead, 2 innings to go. Do you stick with Dylan or Dayton Lane and try to keep him for that? Here's a swing and a miss, pitch in the dirt. And Kuhn will have to go down to first to record the out, and the inning is over. So Dragons can't do anything with the 2-out double from Scott Wolverton. They've stranded 6 through 7 innings. We head to the 8th, 9-4 Blue Dragons. Welcome back to Lawrence-Dumont Stadium, everybody. Very sadly to say, the last year in this ballpark for the Region 6 tournament. According to the Wingnuts officials, after their 2018 season is complete, Lawrence-Dumont will come down. One of the great old ballparks in all of America. Dayton Lane back to the mound for the 8th. And he misses inside, ball 1 to Jose Caraballo. Caraballo an RBI single in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. There's one to right field coming on his rip, but it drops in front of him for a base hit. So a good start to the Saints' 8th. Now 7 hits. Second hit allowed by Dayton Lane. Caraballo with a couple of hits. Now third baseman Benny Ayala. Ayala for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Been talking with Seward County radio announcer Brock Kappelman. Ayala's been one of their best hitters down the stretch. Strike called. He had a couple of home runs out at Brent Gould Field, and Brock just simply called them Benny bombs. The pitch. High fly ball deep left. Morganson back at the fence, and there's another Benny bomb.
He's going to run out of room.
2-run home run for Ayala, and it's a 9-6 game. The Saints just will not go away. Ayala with his 13th home run of the year, RBIs 38 and 39. And the Dragons still have plenty of work to do.
Give
Now
the
Cole.
Saints credit, because down 7-0 after 5, they could have very easily shown a little bit of give up, and they didn't. They've kept swinging. They've kept coming back, and now it's a 9-6 game, so it's a new ball game.
Cole Bergdahl takes ball 1 showing bunt. Gets jammed on that lane offering and fouls it over the Seward County dugout. Count 1-1. 2010, the Dragons took a 9-5 lead into the 8th inning. The Saints came back to tie it up in the 9th. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and it's 1-2. Dragons ultimately won that championship game in 2010, 9-7, and headed to Grand Junction. Hard hit ball center field. Schaefer on the run will chase it down, picking one off the turf. Nice play out there by Brock on a great running catch. There's one big out expended by the Saints here in the 8th. Great play by Schaefer.
Wasn't a lot of room between Schaef's glove and the turf on that one. Nice job of hustling in to make that snag. Likely extra bases if it gets down.
Drew Shope over 2. Was hit by a pitch. Some swings and misses on that lane offering. 9 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Hutchinson. 6 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors for the Saints. That pitch misses. 1-1 now to Shope. The Dragons have left 6 on base. The Saints 7. Pitch misses low. Nice little breath of fresh air
It is. That
came
feels
in.
good coming through here.
81 degrees. The pitch. Low 3-1.
A little overcast. That 81 hasn't changed almost since first pitch.
Fly ball to right field. Julian Ripp now coming in. He's got it, and there's 2 away in the Saints' 8th. Now it's back to the top of the order, and Brendan Madsen. Madsen 2 for 4. He led off the game with a single, and then the Saints' second hit didn't come to the 6th, and it was a single by Madsen. Lane misses low ball 1. (2-0) now the count to Madsen. This is Lane's second appearance against Seward County. Outside 3-0. Again, you're back to the top of the order. You do not need to be walking, putting freebies on. Lane went 2 innings with 2 strikeouts and 3 walks against the Saints in his 1 appearance. There's a strike called. Not sure which of the games he pitched in. Outside ball 4. 2-out walk to Madsen. That'll bring up Sackett, who's got some pop. Sackett with 7 home runs, including a long home run here last night against Barton.
I'm going to expect we're probably going to see Dylan Nedved in the near future. I see Ryan Moritz and Zion Bolden going down to the bullpen. Neither of them in terms of pitching, but coming in as a defensive replacement at shortstop.
Might happen now. Ryan Schmidt comes out of the pen. Schmidt has that slow walk down pat. And again, the first thing he does, he looks right into Dayton Lane's eyes, and he makes the pitching change. So we will see Dylan Nedved, and we will see who comes in to replace defensively. 2 outs in the 8th, 2 across for the Saints. 9-6 Blue Dragons. We'll take a break. Dylan Nedved, who started the year as one of the Dragon closers with Dayton Lane and it was moved into the rotation, comes in here to try to close out the 8th inning. In the 9th inning, when we get to that point, for Hutchinson. 9-6, the Blue Dragons lead. Saints with 2 across in the inning, a runner first, 2 away. The numbers on Nedved, making his 14th appearance, 10th in relief, 4-1 with 2 saves and a 4.18 ERA. He will face Spencer Sackett. Pitch inside at 86. Nedved's number 1 pitch is the fastball. And he primarily uses that, tries to move it in and out, up and down. Inside 2-0.
It's going to be a different look for the Saint hitters as they come up in this inning. They're going to see pitches that are about 10 miles per hour faster than most of what they saw from Dayton.
There's a strike that catches the inside corner. 2-1 to Sackett. More numbers on Nedved. 28 innings pitched, 29 hits, 18 runs, 13 earned, 28 strikeouts, and 10 walks. Opponents hitting .248. Over below 3-1 to Sackett, and the power is on the on-deck circle in Paul and Ward. Grounded up the middle. That's a base hit. May have clipped off the rubber because it slowed the progress of the ball, but heading to third is Madsen. Now the tying run comes to the plate with the big power hitters coming up in Paul, Ward, and Kuhn. 2 out in the inning, so things are getting tight. Dylan Paul struck out his last time. He was 0 for 3. He walked and scored in the 6th.
I think you called that one perfectly. That one was hit sharply enough that Madsen, you would have expected, would have had to stop at second.
That's line toward the gap, left center field. Nobody's going to get this one. And it stays in, and this is going to be 2 runs for the Saints. Morganson hustles it in. This is a 1-run ball game, folks. It's now 9-8. Sackett scores from first. Madsen also scores. It's a 4-run inning. And Cade Ward will be the batter. He doubled his last time up. Hit by a pitch and scored. He's 1 for 3. Bullpen quiet for the Dragons. So right now this game is in the hands of Dylan Nedved. Each team now with 10 hits. The Saints have had 9 since the 6th. The pitch. In there for a strike.
Right now the forced Seward error is the difference in this game. Hutchinson leading at 9-8.
The 0-1. Strike at the knees, outside corner, 0-2. Again, the Dragons are the home team. They will have the last at bat. But if you're a Dragon fan, you don't want to hit in the bottom of the ninth. The 0-2. In the dirt, blocked by Garrett Stevens. That keeps Paul at second base.
See if Nedved can finish it off here with a 1-2 count. It's been the Achilles at times for the Blue Dragon pitchers this season.
Just misses low, 2-2. That didn't miss by much.
No, it didn't. And that's one of those we almost think has probably been called throughout the day, but we're a little bit to the third base side, so don't have a great read on the first base side.
Nedved checks the runner out, delivers the 2-2. Ground ball. Divis has it. Gets to his feet, pours it across. Low throw. Dug out by Zach Baxley. And the inning is over. Mark that play down. Zach Baxley gets a gold star, as does Wyatt Divis, and the Saints are done in the eighth, but 4 runs come across. 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We head to the ninth. Hutchinson 9 and Seward County 8. Dragons need to answer another Seward County challenge. Hutchinson led this at 1.7-0. Now it's 9-8 Blue Dragons, bottom of the eighth. Top of the order for the Dragons, Schaefer, Sartori, and Divis against Braden Gould, who's pitched very strong 4 innings out of the pen for the Saints to give them a chance. Brock Schaefer 1 for 2. He has scored 3 times. He's been hit by pitches twice, and he takes ball 1 to start the eighth.
Last time the Saints put 4 on the board, the Blue Dragons answered with 2.
Schaefer lines one foul out of play. Off to the left.
We would take 1, 2, 3. We'd take about anything right now to get some insurance on the scoreboard.
Schaefer hits one the right side. Diving stop by the first baseman, Ward. He flips to the pitcher covering, and there's one away in the Dragon eighth. Nice play by Ward.
Momentum is certainly on the part of the Saints. That was a great defensive play by Ward.
So if Hutchinson's able to hold on, mark down that final play of the 8th inning. A nice knockdown and stop by Wyatt Divis, and the pick at first base by Zach Baxley. Here's Sartori, 2 for 4, 2 runs scored. Strike at the knees. So right now the Dragon fans kind of back on their heels, and you can hear the Saints fans down below. Sartori gets out in front of one, takes another shot at the Johnson County players who are sitting and waiting for the next game. Typical Hutchinson Seward County baseball game. That's the only way to describe it. Sartori grounds one left side, and that'll get through for a base hit.
Logan's 3rd single of the day, 4th time on base.
He now has 6 hits in his last 2 games. He has a team-high 15 steals. The Dragons have not ran in the postseason. They are 2 for 3 in 5 postseason games, haven't attempted 1 today. Now Wyatt Divis 0 for 4 with an RBI. He's also hit into a double play. Pitch to Divis, high and outside. May have been a pitch out because the catcher popped out of his stance. Waiting to see if Logan Sartori was going to go. Sartori 15 for 20 in stolen bases this year. Again, that's a team high. Decent lead over at first. Gould comes set. Now the pitch. Inside 2-0. Dragons with 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth. The Saints have a pair of 4-run innings in the sixth and the eighth. Now 3-0 to Divis.
Action in the Seward bullpen. West Riddell, right-hander.
The Saints team ERA is upwards of 7. 3-0 to Divis. The pitch comes. Strike at the belt on the inside corner. Divis was taking all the way. Mark Blackham giving you and I a hard time.
I saw that.
Pitch outside, ball 4 to Divis. So the Dragons have 2 on to start the eighth.
Our good friend Mr. Blackham, the owner and general manager of the Hutchinson Monarchs, who will be several of these Blue Dragons will be playing for this summer, giving us some, let's just say, encouragement.
Yes, yes. There's Bobby Morganson still looking for his first hit of the day, but he's had a productive afternoon, a pair of RBIs. RBI ground out. Galen McSpadden comes out, and he's got his slow, deliberate walk. And a right-hander in West Riddell warming up in the pen. Braden Gould has given the Saints a chance. 4+ innings in relief, just 2 unearned runs. Right now, those 2 unearned runs directly a result of 2 of Seward County's 4 errors in the game are the difference in this ball game. Nate Garrison goes and breaks it up, and Galen McSpadden, the Hall of Famer, is going to stick with Gould. But I imagine, knowing Galen, I've known him for quite some time now, working both at the Hutch News and at the college, Riddell is very close to coming in the game as Gould is on a short leash now.
Yeah, looking at Gould's numbers, in 16 prior appearances, 22 2/3 innings, you'd have to wonder if this isn't the longest he's gone this season.
Pitch to Morganson, a strikeout or half. Bobby with a RBI ground out in the first, a sac fly in the sixth. Right now that sac fly is Hutchinson's 9th run. 1-0 to Morganson. Sartori away from second. Here's the pitch. High fly ball, deep right field. This has a chance. Gone! That left the yard in about 1.8 seconds, and the Dragons respond again. A 3-run home run for Bobby Morganson, and it is 12-8.
And here comes Galen McSpadden. So I guess you would say, in hindsight, one batter too many. And how was that, Mr. Blackham? You asked, and we delivered.
We delivered. There you go, Chief. Galen McSpadden will make the pitching change. The Dragons respond again. Once a 1-run lead, now 4 after the Morganson 3-run home run. The Saints are making a pitching change, and we'll be back after this break. Wes Riddell takes over on the mound. Bobby Morganson, a 5 RBI game. That is not a career high for him. He had a 7 RBI game against the Saints on the infamous bus day his freshman year.
Well, if that's what it takes, they should just leave him at the hotel and make him walk.
Bobby's 11th home run of the year. He now has a team-high 60 RBIs. Dylan Nedved will be the batter. Let's get you the numbers on Riddell. As Nedved steps in, now 12-8 Hutchinson. As they have responded again. A bunt by Nedved. It's a great one.
It's a beauty.
There will be no play. It will be a bunt single for Nedved. That was a la Michael Hellman.
Great call. That's a great reference there, Carp.
Nedved with a one-out bunt single. Now Zach Baxley, the batter.
Nobody saw that coming, including you and I.
It's like Fred White and Denny Matthews.
Here's the pitch. Bax goes first pitch, hacking and fouls it off to the right.
I prefer a Bob Euchre.
I'll take him too.
Former AD Randy Stang just graced our presence.
Actually, I think he graced himself with our
Very
presence.
true, very true. Bax gets jammed and is popped out of play, 0-2. I'm still trying to get to Riddell's numbers.
Here, I think I had it right. I got him right here, Carp.
Fire away.
Give me just a second here. Redshirt sophomore, 18th appearance, his 16th coming in relief.
0-2 to Baxley. Nedved will lead at first to pitch. Another jam shot pop-up. It's shortstop Caraballo, a couple of steps into the grass. He's got it for the second out of the Dragon eighth.
Riddell with a 10.87 ERA and 27 1/3 has given up 51 hits, now 52 after the bunt single by Nedved. 37 runs, 33 of them earned, and 5 home runs. Let's not forget that statistic.
Here's Garrett Stevens, 1 for 4. Nedved at first, 2 away. Pitch gets the outside corner, but it's too low for ball 1. 12 runs, 13 hits for the Dragons. That bomb by Bobby Morganson left a yard in about 2 seconds. Breaking pitch misses, and it gets off the glove of the catcher, Kuhn, but no advancement at first, and it's 2-0 to Garrett. Dragons hold on. They play again at 7 o'clock.
That pitch didn't miss by much, and you almost have to wonder if it couldn't have been called a strike, but the catcher dropped it.
Garrett fouls one back to the screen, 2-1.
And you often hear that comes into play with an umpire, that if he could have squeezed that one, it was in a place where we'd seen a lot of called strikes all throughout the game.
That visual effect does have an effect. I worked plenty of games behind the plate. And you're apt to not call a pitch a strike if a catcher drops it in that fashion. Runner goes. And there's a high fly ball deep left center field. But it's playable. Shope makes the catch, and that'll do it. Garrett Stevens put a charge into it, but comes up a little bit short. But Bobby Morganson's 3-run home run is the difference. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 left. We head to the 9th. Our new score, Hutchinson 12 and Seward County 8. Top of the 9th rolls around. Seward County has 3 outs remaining in its season. If they can't score 4, Hutchinson leads at 12-8. It'll be Dylan Nedved trying to close it out it is a safe situation. He came into the game with only a 1-run lead, or was. I got to think of when he came into the game. What was the score when he came in, do you recall?
Let me look back here and see. He gave up the double to Ward, so he came in. He inherited the runners that scored, so it was 9-6 when he came in.
Sorry, but it's still a safe situation.
So
He came in.
Yep.
Joseph Kuhn, the batter, 1 for 4, 2 RBIs, and Nedved starts him off with a strike. Kuhn, his last time up, struck out looking. That came against Dayton Lane. Right now, Miguel Reyes still stands to be the winning pitcher. Strike inside corner. Kuhn didn't think so, and he's down on the count 0-2. Coming up after this one will be Kansas City and Johnson County. Pitch a little bit low, 1-2.
The winner of this game comes back this evening
To play the winner of that game, scheduled for 7 o'clock. The 7 o'clock game started at 8 o'clock last night. 1-2 pitch. High fly, right center field. Both Rip and Schaefer giving chase. Julian Rip slows down. He's got it, and there's 1 out in the Saints' 9th. Now Jose Caraballo. He's singled ahead of Benny Ayala's home run. Caraballo now 2 for 4, an RBI and a run scored.
Well, after going silent for quite a while, Mr. Blackham has finally acknowledged that we did a fine job of helping get those 3 runs across in the bottom of the 8th.
Caraballo pulls 1 foul. After
Mark,
Caraballo, it's Ayala.
Mark, I got to tell you, you'd created a little bit of a fan base out there because my son Jordan, that you know well, wanted to know kind of what your response was to that banter, and I had to tell him it was crickets. You went silent. You asked us to do something, and we did.
We delivered. 1-1 to Caraballo. Nedved's pitch. Off speed offering at 78 miles per hour. Caraballo swings over the top, and it's 1-2. Dragons 2 outs away from going 4-0 in elimination games in this 2018 postseason. Swinging him at strike 3. That number's down to 1 out. Nedved gets his first strikeout, and the batter will be third baseman Benny Ayala, who got a 2-run home run off of Dayton Lane. Ayala now 1 for 4. Wind in the pitch. Slider outside. Never did bring up the story of the 2006 matchup between these two teams that went 15 innings. Saints won that game. That's probably the reason I didn't bring it up. Plus, it was 15 innings.
Exactly. Well, let's hope that's not what we're going to be faced with today. We're 1 out away from wrapping this one up.
2-0 pitch. Fouled at the plate.
That one got the umpire. It's going to be time for Garrett Stevens to return the favor and take a walk out and talk to Dylan Nedved.
Nate Garrison. Yep, Nate Garrison felt that one. Nate's one of the better umpires in our conference. He was out with the ceremony last night to honor Bob Homolka. I did not realize this, but Bob Homolka umpired the very first game in Coors Field history back in 1995. I can say I got to cover the very first Rockies game in Denver history in 1993. That game at Mile High Stadium.
Yeah.
That was a fun day. Now the 2-1 to Ayala. Pulled foul. That first year in Denver, the Rockies could do no wrong. They weren't very good, but they could do no. You never heard a boo. Opening day 1994. The temperature went from 68 degrees at first pitch to snowing in the 6th inning. Howard Johnson in left field dropped a foul ball, and that was the first boos in Rockies history. Pitch a little bit low. Full count now to Ayala. If Ayala extends the inning, it'll be Cole Bergdahl. 3-2, 2 out. Here's the payoff from Nedved. Got him swinging, and the ball game is over. The Dragons advance. 12-8 your final score. Hutchinson moves on. Now 4-0 in elimination games in the 2018 postseason. Miguel Reyes, the winning pitcher. Dylan Nedved the save. Dragons get the win. We'll wrap it up right after this. Welcome back to Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. The Dragons are alive. Denny and I plan on sticking around through Tuesday. We got another one in the books. So 2 of the 6 are complete. A 12-8 victory over Seward County. This one had a lot of peaks and valleys to it. Denny, a 7-0 lead. The Saints get within 1. And then Bobby Morganson's 3-run home run kind of settled things down. Dylan Nedved, a very strong 9th. And the Dragons are moving on. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, you've got to tip of the hat to Miguel Reyes. 5 strong innings, kind of ran into a wall there in the 6th inning. And that's when the Saints first started to make some noise and put their first 4-run inning on the board and made things interesting. But like yesterday, we talked about it, but when they give up some runs, Hutchinson needs to answer those situations. And they did just that today. Each time they were placed in that situation, they got 2 in the bottom of the 6th to somewhat match the 4 that the Saints got. And then when the Saints got 4 more in the top of the 8th to make it a 1-run game, Bobby Morganson, you know, what more can we say? He must really enjoy that RBI career leader statistic because he's trying to do what he can to make that his for a long, long time. 2 runners on, top of the or bottom of the 8th, 1-run game. And we were talking about the chess match that was going on because Galen McSpadden had just gone out to visit with Braden Gould. And he gave him that batter, and Bobby made him pay for it, just destroying a baseball over the fence and right to make it a 4-run game. And you have to think that kind of took the wind out of the sails for the Saints. They 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 9th. And Hutchinson lives to see, I guess we can't say another day because it's still going to be played today.
It's still going to be Sunday.
But
Lives to play another game.
We're going to play tonight at about 7 p.m. We'll be back on the air. And, hey, let's play some more baseball.
Play some more baseball. If things do run late, just stay up to date on the Blue Dragon Twitter feed at Blue Dragon Sport. We'll keep you completely up to date. But let's get to the totals and wrap this one up because we got a lot. We got to prepare for another game, Danny.
Yes, we do.
Here are the totals. Here are the Blue Dragons now 38-21 overall, 12 runs, 13 hits, no errors, 7 left on base. For the Saints, they finished their year at 30-30, 8 runs, 10 hits, 4 errors, 8 left on base. The winning pitcher, Miguel Reyes Jr., he is now 8-2. The losing pitcher is Ryan Thomas. He falls to 2-7, and Dylan Nedved gets his 3rd save of the season. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 23 minutes. The Blue Dragons getting it done once again offensively. Over a 6-inning stretch, the first 4 today, the last 2 yesterday against Neosho, 23 runs and 6 offensive innings. Bobby Morganson, a big 5 RBI day. Just 1 hit on the day, but he has 5 RBI. RBI ground out, a sac fly, and the 3-run home run. His career RBI total is now at 147, and he is already the career RBI leader. So Morganson 1 for 3 with 5 RBIs. Logan Sartori, a 2nd straight 3-hit game. He was 3 for 5 with 3 runs scored. Scotty Wolverton, the sophomore from Seward, getting it done 3 for 3, 2 doubles, a triple, 7 total bases, 1 run scored.
I think you just touched on the secret there. Where's Scotty from?
Seward, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess he had a little extra motivation today.
Yes, he did.
He wanted Nebraska to prevail, and we'll let that happen today, even though we're both well, you're a Husker, but
I
I'm
am
a
a
Kansan.
Husker, yes. 2 for 5 for Dylan Nedved when he was in the game at shortstop. So the Dragons get it done. The offense, we mentioned before the Seward County game, the offense needed to wake up. They've done so. And now the chess match begins for Ryan Schmidt, trying to piece and match the bullpen. Don't know who he will start tonight. Could be Mason Palmier. That's one option. Now they have to wait for an opponent. They have not played either Kansas City or Johnson County yet. Johnson County won a game yesterday. They run-ruled Colby, and then KCK was run-ruled by Cali in the winner's bracket semifinal last night. So it kind of depends.
Zach Moore could be another option.
Zach Moore's another option. He was a starter as a freshman, went 8-0. So there's some options for Ryan Schmidt there. But now really the chess match begins. 2 in the books are complete for Hutchinson. They've still got 4 long ones to go, but you can't get to that last one without chipping away, and the first 2 are in the books for Hutch.
Yep, that's right. And, a lot of excitement down there on the field. The boys are not overly celebrating. They know there's a lot of work yet to be done. But they're excited to extend their day and extend their time in Wichita. And, congratulations to Seward. The way they battled back in this one. They could have very easily laid down when they were down 7-0 because their bats really hadn't given them anything. They'd given them 1 hit to that point. And they weren't ready to be finished. So they made it interesting, but the Blue Dragons responded, recovered, and here we go. We'll be back here and hopefully in about 6.5 hours.
2 ball games in between. Next game coming up, Johnson County and KCK. The winner gets Hutchinson. Then at 4 o'clock, really looking forward to the winner's bracket final, Cowley and Barton. Both teams playing very high-level baseball. And then after that, the Blue Dragons will take on the winner of this game. That's going to wrap it up for now. Again, we will be back hopefully on the air about 6:50 if things stay on time. Again, keep up to date on the Twitter feed, and that'll keep you square up on who the Blue Dragons will play and when. We'll have that information for you here in just a couple hours after this next ball game. For the big man behind us, Josh Gooch, our athletic director, Brandon Sams running the controls, and Denny Steckline. Thanks for joining us. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, especially the baseball moms. We really appreciate all your contributions that you do for all of us. Until later this evening, on behalf of the entire crew, Steve Carpenter from Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. So long, everybody.